Thank you, Charlie. Those things are not to be discussed publicly. They are to be saved for an obituary. That is not common discussion. Friends, everybody aware enough to be at a CED luncheon like this certainly knows all about David Brooks. You've read his columns in the New York Times, the Journal. Probably most of you have read Bobo's in Paradise. You've seen him on television. This is a first-rate intellect, and a thoughtful fellow, a social commentator, a political commentator. So you all know about him. What you may not know is, look at all these distinguished faces here. What you may not know is that his academic background, his academic discipline was history, and that his first job was as a police reporter. Now, historians are trained to see life in perspective. Police reporters are trained to get the facts and dig deeply and not look at the superficial explanations. Those seeing life in perspective and digging for the facts, those two initial influences have inspired this man's writing and are the key. Now, David does not believe in genius. And by extension, you almost get the feeling he doesn't believe in talent. He believes you won't. I mean, he has written that Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was probably just a nice kid with a pushy father who encouraged him to put in 10,000 hours of practice, after which he became Mozart. David says not exactly. David has put in his 10,000 hours doing legwork. He claims, or has claimed, that he really starts and ends his day reading congressional budget reports. Whether that's true or not, he has put in his 10,000 hours. He is polymathic, but one last comment. At a time when public intellectuals in this country snarl at each other, at a time when both political parties are being dominated by the flacos on the extreme left and the extreme right, we have a desperate need for people who can describe themselves, as David does, as someone who used to be a liberal until he came to his senses on the one hand, and a Republican who, or a conservative who is periodically attacked by Rush Limbaugh. This man is a national treasure, David Brooks.